I don't like to put down anyone, and I don't like getting put down either. And I think that the reptile community, they really have to work on this, because you'll see people that are doing things wrong, and instead of people trying to help them and being kind and helpful, like, they just go and attack them. And then you see people having differing opinions, and they have to, scream and attack each other, swear at each other. And it's so uncalled for, and it's something that I never do. I can disagree with you, you can disagree with me, and I think debates are important, and we should be able to have debates civilly and be able to discuss things, and everything should be discussed. It shouldn't be such a world where it's like you have to do things like this. This is the only way, and if you do anything wrong, you're an idiot, and all sorts of bad names. It's just... Like, aren't we done in school? Like, doesn't that happen in elementary school, high school? Like, we're grown adults for the most part, or like, I don't know what. Yeah, you know what? The most of the people that have these discussions seem to be kind of in their like 25 to 35 area, and the way that they're treating each other is just terrible. So, if I disagree with you, I'll tell you and express it. And if you disagree with me, you should be able to tell me and express it. But the amount of hate in our community is very disheartening. I've been involved in a lot of card game communities, drone communities, and the funny thing is that in like this hobby, where we love our animals and we get such joy out of them and everything, why do we have to be like hating on each other so much? And just when somebody comes and they show their setup and then everyone says it's wrong and attack them, maybe they will change, or maybe they just won't ever show anyone again. You would do much better off by kind of befriending the person and being like, you know what, I noticed, that you got that snake, and that's really cool. They're awesome, aren't they? And yeah, like, you want to think about this, like, how would you feel if you were stuck in a container that you couldn't move around? Maybe you could get a bigger one, and we could talk about, the heating and the humidity, and I could help you set yourself up nicely, and I could help you with those things, because it's just like, you got the snake, you want to consider these things and give it the best thing that you can. And the way that reptile keeping has changed in the years, it has gotten so much better. I remember watching a interview with I think Tom Crutchfield, I think that's his name, and lots of people mention him and show how he's changed or whatever, but he basically said, like, the reptile business used to be people buying iguanas and buying snakes, and they had no idea how to care for them, so they just took them, stuck them in a container, and just kept them until they died, and then they replaced them, and they did it over and over and over again, and that's what it used to be. So we've come a long way from that, and we know how to keep these animals alive, and we know how to take care of them, and now the next step is trying to give them more. And just like a reptile breeder isn't able to go to the vet for every animal, in the same way, the enclosures that I would like to keep my animals in, I'm not really able to, because like, I started a decade ago, and I bought so many animals, and I bought too many. I made that mistake, and I readily admit that. And anyone getting into snakes, I warn them, and I tell them, like, don't just keep buying them. It's so easy to buy so many animals, especially reptiles, because they're easy to take care of. But just, stick to less than 5, or less than 10 at the most, and just keep them and enjoy them, because everyone's getting too many, and then everyone wants to breed them, and there's an overabundance of them, and then they lose their value. And when they lose their value, they shouldn't lose their value. They should keep their value. They should be sold for more money so that people respect and value them more, instead of everybody breeding them and selling them for $50 to get rid of them. And that, to me, is the most disrespectful thing that we all can do for the reptiles, for the reptile industry. And I've said it before, I'll keep saying it. What the reptile industry should look like, it should be people that really love their animals, that really love working with them, and you find, your favorite animal, your favorite pattern, the one that's your favorite, and you get a pair of those, and you raise those, and you set them up in a big beautiful home, bioactive or not. Like, the big thing is that you're keeping them clean, you have their humidity right, you have things for them to climb on. In the summertime, you take them out and you let them enjoy the sun, and you just give them the best environment you can, and you're proud of them, and you have this display, and people come to your house and you're like, look, these are my pets, and you love them as much as you would a dog. You buy a dog for $1,000, $2,000, and you take it for a walk every day, and you talk to it, and you play with it, and you pick up its crap, and you give it fresh water every day. And it's just like, that's the way that snakes should be treated, especially if they're your pets. And I had much more fun. It's funny because it's like I have a very nice snake collection, one that people could be jealous of or whatever, but it's like I'm almost jealous of the people that just keep a few animals, because when I had my first snake was a spider ball python, and I had him and just him for a year, and that first year was probably the most fun that I ever had with an animal, because I was with him all the time. I took him outside, I took him to the park, and I didn't have to worry about cleaning up 100 animals. And now every day I have to clean, snake crap and gecko crap, and I have to feed them and clean them, and I'm like, it's a never-ending job. After this stream, I'm going to go and spend the rest of the day cleaning animals, and it's not enjoyable as it was when I just had one that I truly enjoyed. So I tell people that, and I encourage them to give their snakes a big home and view it kind of like a cat or dog. And we're not going and buying 10 cats and 10 dogs and breeding them, but people do that with snakes because it's easy to do. But like I said, let's say that instead, you treated reptiles like dogs, you spent a couple $1,000s on them, and then you had a breeding let's say you even wanted to have a breeding project. Instead of buying all these cheap animals and breeding them and making more, which, we don't need that. You get really quality animals, and you raise them and you breed them, let's say every 2-3 years, and you still give them a good life, and you enjoy them, and then you breed them, and you're able to sell them, and you're able to charge a decent amount and teach other people to respect them and to kind of view them almost the same way. And then instead of having just everyone breeding the same stuff and having an overabundance, and then animals being undersold and undervalued and undercared for, then we have a different world where everyone really kind of loves the animals that they have, respects them, and you're buying from other people that really, love those animals, instead of just trying to pump them out like a factory. And now that I have too many animals, what am I doing about it? I'm downsizing. And it took 10 years to kind of get all these animals. And now to sell them, I'm being careful, because it's just, I don't want to just be selling all my animals to people that are going to be breeding them. I want to find them good homes and have people that are going to take care of them kind of the way that has been mentioned. And then I want to do the same thing. I want to work on smaller projects. I'm learning bioactive now for crested geckos, so moving forward, all my crested geckos are going to be in bioactive enclosures, because that's something I can do, so why not? And if you can do it, why not? And if I could have all my animals in bigger homes, it's something that I want to do, so it's going to be years of getting that collection to kind of downsize. This year I didn't breed any boas, so it's my first year in 5 years that I haven't bred my boas. I've paired a few snakes together and kind of just been, if it happens, it happens. But I haven't gone through kind of the steps of breeding them properly. So I don't think that I'm going to have any boa litters this year, but I still have some animals from last year and I need to sell those. And I haven't really been working on selling my animals, which is what, it's part of being a breeder. You should be, advertising and selling your animals. But this has been a rough year for me, and I've been going through a lot, I don't know, emotionally and financially. And it would make sense that since I haven't been doing the greatest financially, I should be, on trying to sell the animals, but it's just I haven't been. And I gotta get picked up and get back to it and everything. If you want to participate in these conversations, we didn't really have anyone talking on the stream today, but if you want to be part of it, just look at the community tab on my YouTube channel, Snake Cake Exotics, for you people on Reddit and stuff. But just go to the community channel on my page, and every week I'm going to kind of put a question, ask you something, we'll have a discussion, and then on Sundays we're going to be here in the stream and we can actually talk, and you guys can talk and say stuff too, ask questions or whatever, and we can actually have a discussion so I don't have to sit here talking all alone.